being discovered in a small market or getting a job in some small town and then working your way up to larger and larger stations when you can, you can put together a live stream internet radio talk show as you've just talked. It may start out small, but you get the right viewership and the right networking via social media and other things. And I think you're right, man. I think it's the future of media in this country. And that's pretty exciting for the guy who doesn't want to conform, who wants to, the sky's the limit type thing, Jim.
Well, the overhead in those systems, I don't care if it's conventional radio or conventional broadcast television, the overhead is just massive. We had a line producer give us an estimate on what each episode of our show would cost if we did it conventionally through the union system. And the line item benefit for the Teamsters alone, just the benefit item per episode, $28,000. I mean, so when you have these massively bloated systems where people have their hand out every step of the way, they're not going to take much of a risk on new content. And so that's why someone like Clooney gets to make Monument Men, because they're going to take a risk on him for obvious reasons. But most of the rest of us don't get that chance, and we'll never get that chance. So I think you just have to do what John Sayles said years ago: if you want to be a filmmaker, go out and make a film.
And to you all listening, I mentioned again that this site, colonybay.tv. It's not only gorgeous in terms of how it's set up, and obviously optics, to borrow Obama's term, but no, this thing is fantastic, and you need to go there because I know I will enroll or become a member or whatever as soon as the show's over. I have not seen it, Jim, previously, but this is some pretty quality stuff, my friend.
Well, thanks. We worked really hard on it. It's and the actors and the crew that we have. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, we have young guys, 24 years old, right out of film school, and they'll work 14-hour days. I mean, they just really want to do a great product, and so we assembled a team that's just cares about doing great stuff, and hopefully someday we'll find an audience and make some money on it.
Well, the other thing that I love, Jim, the Life of Riley reality show, that clip, and we'll link to all of this stuff on our blog post. I'm also gonna put that video because I thought it was so hilarious. The juxtaposition of a 21st century guy living a colonial type life. The guy in the Patrick Henry outfit with the ponytail, sitting in a period authentic tavern, talking about his Wi-Fi connection. I mean, it's just hilarious.
Oh, yeah, we've had up here on the farm. We've had 25 years of that. We've had, as I told you over email, we've had 19th century buckskinners who were 300 pounds overweight. We had academic redcoats who would spend $3,000 or $4,000 on their clothing, but would never do a first-person impression. The opportunities for comedy and living history are just without end. And a lot of it is that when we were first marketing this place, we would dress up in 18th century clothing and go all over town just to get people's attention. And so it became sort of a normal thing for us. And when we began debating a reality show, our production partner, Jonathan Wilson, made the joke, that he doesn't want to do reality. And I didn't get the joke for weeks, basically, because it was very apparent that I was not living in reality. So we kind of made our own reality up here. And the rhythms of life in the 18th century are really, they inspire affection for people. I mean, I don't care if they're left, right, or center politically. When people come up and see Civil War reenactors or 18th century tavern maids, there's a soft spot in their heart for the stories of America. And so it's both comedic for us, but it's also very, very close to our hearts.
Well, that's super fun. Speaking, and we're just about out of time, so I'm going to have to let you go here. But just kind of a heads up. Speaking of soft spots, my 8-year-old, when she was pressing apples to make apple juice, was stung multiple times by the bees that collect around the apples and apple juice. You're just don't be surprised when you get served a little bit later today. Me pursuing.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm in trouble. All right. Well, it's been great.
All right, James Patrick Riley, thank you so much for being on, brother, and good luck with your throat. Good luck with Life of Riley, and we will talk at you soon. All right.
Yeah, we'll see you at the Golden Globes.
Yeah, sure you will.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks.
Okay, man. As Brother Dennis Miller would say, he's a cool cat, isn't he?
You know what? I love the cut of his jib. In fact, I was planning looking at their website for Riley's Farm to do a day trip with the kids to go up because they've got all kinds of stuff going on up there, dude. And you saw the picture. I mean, the picture that he put up on Facebook. That's part of the deal. And there's all kinds of stuff going on up there, and it's beautiful.
There's a large. There's a couple, 2 or 3 here around Indianapolis, but there's a large. It sounds similar. Called Connor Prairie. I would never have dreamed that something like that would exist in Southern California. That surprised me.
Well, you know, the Oakland area itself was set up in the 1950s. So some of the commercial Apple stores, you know, lots of apple pie places and baking and stuff like that. It was a big destination in the 1950s. In fact, my dad, in the early 60s, he and my mom, one of their first dates was to go apple picking and cider tasting in the early 1960s up in Oakland.
Wow. You know, I'm just thinking, we're almost out of time. You got to take us out. But maybe, you know, these guys, this site, Wellness Food Co-op or whatever the hell it is, I mean, maybe we could hook him up with them to sell apples.
Could be. Well, folks, you have been listening to an exciting episode. We were able, fortunately, to get Jessica back to overcome our technical issues. The Right Mics with Mike Miller and Michael Hausum. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Be here.
This show is produced by IJReview.com.
This show is copyright by VLR Media. All opinions of panelists and guests are their own and may not reflect the opinion of VLR Media, the host, or anyone else.